Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. Welcome to October. Today is only the 2nd. I don't feel like I'm too far behind. Yesterday I just did not get to working in my October journal, but we're here today. I'm so excited. This is the journal that I made from cardboard, some pretty scrapbook paper, and paper bags. We're going to be putting charms out here. But I want to see what October sends to me. I like to see what the universe sends. A lot of times, a lot of years, I have picked a theme. I feel very strongly that through the ages, women have been persecuted as witches when they were not really witches at all. Women are intuitive. They have traditionally been the keepers of their homes. They've been in touch with plants and ways to heal their family, their children, their husbands. So in the past, they've been taken advantage of. There were times even that if a woman was left a widow and she had land that someone wanted, all a man had to do was accuse her of witchcraft, and she could be dragged off and burned at the stake or put in prison. This time of the year is so beautiful to me. I absolutely love this time of year. It's, the big thing about this time of year and Halloween and just the changing of the seasons, it's getting colder. Supposedly, the veil is thinner between this life and the afterlife. It's just a beautiful time of year. It's an absolutely beautiful time of year. The garden is beautiful, even though things are dying. I'm so inspired to be in the garden this time of year. I pulled out this Revolution because I want to cut out a couple of dragonflies. And I thought I would do that real quickly. If I remember how to do it, it's been so long since I used this. And this is the thin sort of origami paper. And let's see if we can get a dragonfly out of this. And maybe I'll be more intentional about how I use this paper. But getting back to what I was talking about as far as having a theme, I think what I'm going to do this year is focus on women, and especially images that feel a bit supernatural or powerful or creepy, scary. And I love to do deep dives on things that, like dragonflies. So dragonflies are very symbolic, and they are considered to be able to pass through different realms. If you believe in that sort of thing, and you don't have to. This is art. The year that I made my journal about witches, and I really just wanted to learn more about witches. That was my big thing. I wanted to understand more about the witch trials and the books that were written in the 1600s and how women were treated. So the book, I wasn't doing witchcraft. I was just making a book of art to learn more about it. And someone really left me a scathing comment about how dare I use a religious symbol in a book like that. And I did have some religious symbols. I had, I think, a cross maybe, or some prayer beads or something. But there was no disrespect intended at all. I think if we really knew how the church in these early centuries, where the churches were trying to get into communities, we would be surprised to see the overlap between very old customs that we might look at now as being superstitions and what was adopted by the church to make church services more palatable to people. And I am not an expert by any means. That's the whole point of doing books like this, is learning more about, why we do the things we do and what happened. There are certainly some things in history that we don't ever want to have repeated. And if you don't know, what happened, there's a danger of not understanding kind of paths that we could go down with different things. This is some dandelion tea And I just brought it out here because I think it would probably be good for me. I love the all natural ginger ale by Reed's, but I know it's got sugar and calories, and I've been on a kick of kind of drinking that. So I said, let me do something that's a little more, maybe a little more healthy and hydrating. And I do love the power of plants. I did an herbal apprenticeship years ago when I was at my old house, and it ended up being cut short because my husband at the time got very sick with his heart. And anyway, that's a totally different story, but oh my goodness, I enjoyed being a part of that apprenticeship. So I think this might be, actually I'm going to do one more because I want an odd number. We've got 4 dragonflies. Let's go ahead and do one more. Let's see if we can get another one out of this piece of paper. I do love dragonflies. I have quite a few that come to my garden. I've seen more butterflies, birds, dragonflies, and things like that in my garden here than I ever have before. And I think it's because of maybe some changes that we've made with the way that we handle the yard. Anyway, so let me move this out of the way. It's crazy how long I had to stand out here looking around before I could find my die cuts because there's so much out here. And finally, I laid my eyes on them and I thought, I need to quit moving stuff around, have a place for everything, and just put everything in its place. That's pretty. We might end up having to do some sort of card to showcase a picture for October. Oops, I put that in the wrong place. I might leave that sitting there for right now. That's really good. Dandelion has got a bitter taste. I didn't put any sugar or anything in it. So it may be something that some people like, but not everybody. It is very good for you though. So let's look at this front page here, or maybe even getting into here. I did want a lot of black in this one, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put some black paint on the page. I have a lot of black in the journal this year. And I am okay if it goes to other pages and other things. Ooh, I got way too much on there. Okay, let me dry this a little bit. I'm probably going to be using quite a bit of this netting throughout this book. I still haven't decided exactly what I want it to look like, but maybe I don't need to know what I want it to look like. And I was thinking that it would be fun to maybe draw some little faces. Oh, that was from the beach. My grandson, my youngest grandson, did that. I love this ochre color. It's turned into one of my favorite colors to use for hair. And this is my Brandy paint set. That's what I call it. My dear friend Brandy and we never really got to spend enough time together. I met her at a craft show and she walked up to my table and she said, "Do you make junk journals?" And I said, "Yes." And she said she did too. So we connected after that. But she passed away. It will be 2 years in December. And I wish we could have spent more time together. We just didn't really get the opportunity. I do have some of her artwork in my living room, but she gave me the paint set. She was an amazing artist, and she said she had something that I might like to try, and I have used it nonstop ever since. It's my favorite. And by the way, she is the friend that I was just feeling her presence so strongly at the beach. I don't know what anybody thinks about whatever floated across the screen, but where it came from is where her paint set sits. I always keep it in that little shelf over there, unless I'm traveling, and sometimes I take it with me. So she needs a hat. And I think she also needs, I wonder if we can give her some purple sleeves. Kind of some witchy layers. We're gonna add some more color, don't worry. And I wonder if we could end up with like 3 of these little shiny things. We maybe just should put some on the desk so that we'll have them to work with. If we could use those as the buttons. Oops. I got a little bit too much on one of those. But it's okay, because we're just playing. It's nothing to worry about. What I do need to worry about is how I managed to lose everything out here. I knew I had more beads. Halloween, there they are. There's so much out here. That's where all those boxes came from that I've been selling for the last 2 weeks. There's stuff out here everywhere. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yep, this is what I had put up for this year. And there it is. I'm glad it surfaced, but I still didn't find what I was actually looking for. And I shouldn't even worry about it. Let's just use something different. Maybe, I covered up my let's use the jewelry pliers. I think that this is going to be so fun. Okay, so those are her buttons, and we need, well, maybe we should just try this. And now, let's see. If that I know that's not that dark. This must have had black in it. But that's okay. It really is. Because we want a lot of black in this journal. Or is that? I don't think that's that black. I will have packs tomorrow, fun packs. And I will be putting those together. I'll try to have them listed by noon. Ooh, that's cool. Wondering. Let me see what the purple does. We need a darker purple. I don't see anything so far, so let's do this. Let's dry this some. Well, I like her. I like her okay. And I think maybe what we need to do is get another little piece of this netting. But she definitely needs her witch's hat. And what do we want to make it out of? What do we want to make it out of? There's that. And maybe, I don't know if we want to repeat that. Maybe we'll get some lace or some velvet or something. I love how crinkly that is. I wonder if we should... that might be interesting. I've never... Should we do it? Should we put this through the embosser and put the dragonflies all around her? Because look, her face fits right in the center. Ooh, that's really fun. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there are some, I should have moved it over a little bit, but this is okay. That's really fun. Okay, I turned the camera off for a little bit because I went searching for a piece of cardboard. I worked on her a little bit more. I just felt like this was turning into such a long video. I better like stop and do a few things and then come back because my internet has been horrible lately. I mean, it's been taking way too long for things to load. It's depressing because you work so hard and create a video and edit it and then you can't do anything with it. It's been taking hours for things to end up fully uploading. Our download speed is good. The upload speed is slow. So I think Jason might try to check into, like maybe call the company and find out why. I know this is still very wet, but let's go ahead and put a lot of glue on here. And maybe we want to go ahead and put that under there. I don't remember which way I was going to put this. And we're going to need a lot more glue. think this month is just going to be a month of art and just following where I feel like I'm being led to create as far as inspiration. You know, nothing spiritual. I just mean I might see something that takes me down a path, and maybe we were talking about like deep diving. One of the reasons I love to make journals, and especially this time of year, I love to just learn more and more about different topics. I may work on her some more. I'm not just totally crazy about her yet, but she also doesn't have her hat yet. And I'm wondering if this fabric just naturally rolls up like that. It's a really stiff fabric. And it might make an amazing hat. It actually really does. It's definitely not what it should be over here. Oh, I love her. We might have to glue this to some paper. Let me plug in my hot glue gun. I think we might need it. I have a piece of paper that might be thick enough for this. I really just want something to help it hold its shape. And then if we need to paint the back, we definitely can. I don't know if I want it that high up over the top of the journal. There, that's better. This glue gun gets so hot. I mean, it gets scary hot. I've burnt my fingers before with it. And for some reason, it started acting like, well, there, it's working now. Last time I used it, it was getting on my nerves because it's like it didn't want to come out. Whoa, hello. Once I lay it down, that's where it's going to be. So, I better make sure. There. And when these little strings or whatever dry, we can pull those off. Oh, sorry, I messed up your hat a little bit. And then I actually found this fabric today. Oh my gosh. And it was free. It was in one of those bins of free fabric. Take what you want outside of one of the thrift stores. I really hope everybody has fun playing this month in their journals. It's just It has been so important to me for years now. I feel like art is one of the things that saved me when I was in the old house and I was in such a bad place. And I had never heard of Stampington. I had never seen any of their magazines. I got out of the house to just like for a little break. I went over to Barnes & Noble, had 4 kids, just super busy all the time and very depressed and constantly surrounded by anger. I've talked a little bit about that, but I walked into Barnes & Noble and went over to the magazines and I spotted for the very first time the Stampington magazines. And at the time, I don't think they were like $15 yet. They were pricey. And this has probably been, 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Yeah, maybe about 15 years ago. I'm trying to think of the dates on the magazines, somewhere around there, but I think I ended up buying 4 different magazines. I got a Somerset Studio. I got the, remember when they used to have the ones about digital art? I don't remember what that one was called, but it was like blogging, beautiful blogs and stuff. I got one of those. They had one about art dolls. I got that. I spent like $60. But that was a change in my life. That was a huge change. I set up a little art corner when I got home, and I just determined and purposed that I was going to start trying to make things that made me happy. And that's what I did, and I have never looked back. I had always journaled, and I had started adding elements to my journals, like pictures and little sketches and stuff. But I was nowhere, it was nothing like what it turned into once I found art journaling. So art is just, it's just so amazing. Let's see. Trying to think. I know I need to let this cover dry, and we've been going for a long time. I feel like I might want to add a dragonfly. Well, I thought we might get inside the journal and do a page, but we're not there yet. We did get a lot done. I wonder if she needs some stars on her hat. I think she does. These little sparkly stars. And we're gonna put the charms on. I think I'm gonna stop though. I'm gonna wait until I find my little tweezers to do this. Is this them? No, that's feathers. Oh, look what I found. So I'm still gonna stop. I might do this off camera because you don't need to watch me sit here and try to put enough glue under those to get them to stick. Thank you so much for watching. I think we're off to a good start, and I really appreciate everyone who's here. Thank you so much for all the nice comments. I'm starting to feel back to normal. Anyway, thank you, and bye for now.